Tom Cruise is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, a man whose name alone commands attention worldwide. From the high-flying stunts in Mission Impossible to the heart-stopping intensity of Top Gun, Cruise has been a symbol of cinematic perfection, charm, and determination. Yet behind the glitz, the box office success, and the red carpet smiles lies a story far more complicated. At 63, Tom Cruise is a man who has given everything to his craft, endured relentless scrutiny, and faced personal tragedies that the public rarely sees. Fame has been both a blessing and a curse, elevating him to superstardom while simultaneously isolating him in ways few can comprehend. Friends, colleagues, and insiders reveal that the path to stardom came with sacrifices that have left deep emotional scars, personal relationships strained, and a private life marked by turbulence. The tragedy of Tom Cruise is not about failure. He has achieved more than most in Hollywood could ever dream of, but about the cost of that success, the loneliness behind the fame, and the moments the cameras never captured. This is the story of a man adored worldwide, whose personal struggles reveal the heartbreaking realities behind the Hollywood legend. Tom Cruise was born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, to parents who struggled to make ends meet while raising 4 children. From a young age, Cruise was determined to rise above the chaos of his upbringing, channeling his energy and ambition into acting. By the early 1980s, his natural charisma and drive had propelled him into Hollywood, where he quickly became a sensation. Films like Risky Business and Top Gun cemented his place as one of the most bankable stars of his generation. But with this meteoric rise came enormous pressure. Cruise's relentless pursuit of perfection became both his greatest asset and his heaviest burden. He was known for performing dangerous stunts himself, often pushing his body to the limits, but the emotional and mental toll was less visible to the public. Insiders reveal that the constant pressure to maintain his image, to deliver blockbuster hits, and to navigate the unforgiving scrutiny of Hollywood and the media began to weigh on him early in his career. Personal relationships were impacted as well. Marriages to Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman, and later Katie Holmes were scrutinized relentlessly, each dissolution leaving emotional scars that were magnified by public attention. Cruise's private life, shrouded in secrecy, became fodder for rumors and speculation, adding another layer of stress to an already demanding career. Beyond the relationships, Cruise's affiliation with Scientology added further complications. While he has often defended his beliefs, insiders suggest that it has isolated him from some friends and colleagues, creating a perception of distance that is difficult to bridge. Despite the accolades, the awards, and the adoration, Cruise has had to navigate a world that demands perfection while allowing no room for vulnerability. Friends note that while the public sees charm, confidence, and unyielding energy, there is also a private Tom Cruise, a man who battles loneliness, emotional exhaustion, and the weight of relentless expectations. The tragedy, they say, is that a person who gives so much to bring joy, excitement, and entertainment to millions of people worldwide is often left struggling to find that same happiness and peace in his own life. It is a paradox of fame that Cruise embodies completely. A man at the pinnacle of success, yet often isolated, misunderstood, and burdened by the very stardom that defines him. While Tom Cruise dazzled audiences on the big screen, the man behind the camera faced a series of personal challenges and controversies that rarely made headlines with the nuance they deserved. For a man whose image was meticulously curated, every misstep, every unconventional choice was magnified under the unforgiving lens of Hollywood and global media. His highly publicized relationships, particularly with Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes, became fodder for endless speculation, rumors, and critique. Friends and insiders reveal that the pressures of maintaining an intense career, combined with the strain of public scrutiny on his marriages, created emotional turbulence that Cruise rarely shared with the world. Beyond relationships, Cruise's affiliation with Scientology has been a focal point for controversy. While many respected his dedication to his beliefs, others criticized the perceived influence of the organization on his personal and professional life. Friends have suggested that the religion, coupled with his perfectionism, contributed to periods of isolation and misunderstanding, where he was viewed as distant or untouchable, even by close colleagues. Additionally, Cruise's career choices, while strategic and often brilliant, sometimes carried hidden personal costs. Performing high-risk stunts himself became both a signature of dedication and a source of physical strain. Crew members have reported countless hours where he pushed beyond normal human limits, suffering injuries and exhaustion that were rarely visible on camera. These stunts, emblematic of his devotion to realism, also symbolize the broader pattern in his life: a willingness to sacrifice his own comfort and well-being for excellence, leaving little room for personal healing or emotional reflection. Public controversies, such as the infamous couch-jumping incident on Oprah or outspoken comments about psychiatry and medication, were met with ridicule and harsh media coverage. While many dismiss these moments as eccentricities, they point to a man under immense pressure, trying to reconcile personal beliefs, emotional strain, and a public persona crafted to perfection. Despite all this, Cruise continued to deliver blockbuster after blockbuster, seemingly untouchable on the surface, but each triumph concealed the emotional weight he carried privately. Those closest to him often describe a dichotomy. The man who brought joy, adrenaline, and cinematic magic to millions was simultaneously navigating loneliness, intense scrutiny, and a constant battle to maintain personal authenticity. The tragedy, friends note, is that while audiences were captivated by his charm, talent, and daring, the inner life of Tom Cruise was fraught with the very human struggles that fame could neither conceal nor resolve. In a world that demanded perfection, he gave everything, and yet in giving so much, there was always a price to pay, leaving scars unseen, emotional wounds unacknowledged, and a solitude that defined much of his adult life. Despite his outward confidence and unyielding energy, Tom Cruise's life has been marked by emotional struggles few truly understand. Years of relentless work, media scrutiny, and public expectation left him under constant pressure to perform at an almost inhuman level. Friends and insiders reveal that Cruise has battled intense stress and periods of isolation, as fame demanded perfection in every aspect of his life, from physical appearance to public demeanor. Personal relationships, including marriages and friendships, often bore the brunt of these pressures. The demands of filming blockbuster action sequences meant long periods away from home, sometimes separated from loved ones for months on end. While Cruise's dedication to his craft was admired, it often came at the cost of intimacy, personal connection, and mental health. Furthermore, the public controversies and criticisms surrounding his affiliations, personal choices, and outspoken opinions created a persistent sense of being misunderstood and attacked. This constant scrutiny led him to build emotional walls, making it difficult for even those closest to him to reach him. Insiders also point to the immense pressure of maintaining a flawless public image while contending with the private reality of exhaustion, loneliness, and emotional strain. Cruise's commitment to performing his own stunts is often cited as a symbol of his work ethic, but it also reveals a pattern of self-sacrifice and relentless pursuit of perfection that few could endure without consequences. The cumulative effect of these pressures, combined with public judgment and personal expectations, created moments of near breakdown, where even his extraordinary resilience was tested. Friends recall instances where Cruise would retreat from social gatherings, preferring solitude to preserve his mental and emotional energy. Yet despite the hardships, he continued to deliver performances that captivated audiences worldwide. The paradox of his life is striking: a man whose personal battles were immense, yet who projected an image of invincibility and charm to the public. This duality is central to understanding the tragedy of Tom Cruise, not a tragedy of failure, but of the cost of relentless ambition, fame, and perfectionism. He gave everything to his craft and the world, yet the emotional toll was immense, leaving scars that the red carpet and box office numbers could never reveal. If this story of Tom Cruise's hidden struggles resonates with you, like, subscribe, and comment below. Share your thoughts on the sacrifices behind Hollywood's greatest stars. Your engagement helps us tell the stories that audiences rarely see. At 63, Tom Cruise stands as one of Hollywood's most iconic figures. Yet the reality behind the stardom paints a far more poignant picture. Friends, colleagues, and insiders reveal that the man who has dazzled millions with daring stunts, charm, and unrelenting energy, has paid an extraordinary personal price for his fame. The relentless pursuit of perfection, physically, emotionally, and professionally, has left him with a sense of isolation that few in the public eye could truly comprehend. Relationships that once brought happiness have been tested by long periods away on film sets, media scrutiny, and the weight of public expectation. Marriages and personal bonds, while celebrated by fans and tabloids alike, have often ended in heartbreak, leaving emotional scars that linger despite success. Beyond personal relationships, Cruise has grappled with the pressure of living up to his own legendary status. Every film, every stunt, every public appearance carries the expectation of perfection, and any deviation risks criticism or misinterpretation. This unyielding pressure has created moments of emotional strain, where even a man of his charisma and resilience has felt the profound weight of solitude. Health challenges from years of physically demanding stunts, combined with the emotional exhaustion of constant performance, further contribute to the tragedy. Cruise's affiliation with Scientology, while a source of personal faith, has also isolated him in ways that complicated friendships, professional collaborations, and public perception. Yet, despite these hardships, Tom Cruise continues to captivate audiences, delivering performances that define modern cinema. The tragedy lies not in his accomplishments. He has achieved more than most could ever dream, but in the cost of those achievements: personal sacrifice, emotional exhaustion, and the enduring weight of expectations that never allow him to fully rest or retreat. Insiders describe a man of extraordinary talent and dedication, yet also someone profoundly human, grappling with loneliness, regret, and the invisible scars of a life lived under the brightest spotlights. As audiences, we see the thrill, the glamour, and the adrenaline, but few grasp the quiet battles waged behind the scenes, the private sorrow intertwined with the public triumph. Tom Cruise's legacy, therefore, is one of paradox, an enduring icon of Hollywood excellence, yet a man whose personal story is marked by heartbreak and sacrifice. At 63, the tragedy is not that he has failed, but that the world has rarely witnessed the full scope of the cost of his extraordinary life. And in that unacknowledged struggle, there is a truth more compelling and more heartbreaking than any film could ever portray. His story is a stark reminder that fame and fortune can mask profound human vulnerability, and that the men and women who shine brightest on screen sometimes fight the hardest battles behind the camera.